Hey guys, Angelo here. A lot has transpired in the past few weeks. You know, a divorce, a separation, a breakup is not an easy thing for anyone. And unfortunately, ours has been made very public. Originally by me, by stating that we were breaking up. And then Lena, took it to the next level and aired all of our lives, something that should never have happened. But that's what she does, and she's been doing that for a long time, and not judging her, and that's what she does, and I've done that too. Um, but yesterday I went a bit overboard, not a bit, but I did go a lot overboard, and there's many reasons, and not that any reason is acceptable, but Lena has thrown a lot of rocks and has said a lot of things, and one of the things that put me over the edge, number one, you know, yes, I wrote a blog that was called Patterns, and she took very much offense to it. And then with that, she just went all out and wrote this horrific blog about me with pictures. I never posted pictures about her. I never mentioned her name. I have, a way of writing that is not going to personally, mention her. Um, but between that and then the fact that she told me while we were having a Facebook conversation that she had gone out with a Marine and finally got some DICK. Okay. And, that really touched a place where I'm like, wait a minute, we haven't even finalized our divorce and you're already dating and going out and having sex. So, not that it's an excuse, but that kind of pissed me off. And all she has done all throughout this whole thing is put me down, how controlling I am, how I've done this, that, and the other, how I lived off her disability. We were together 24/7 from the go in the beginning. We didn't stay any place long enough for me to find work. And every time I did try to attempt want to work, she didn't want me to because she didn't want to be alone. Okay, we were inseparable. Inseparable. I'm not a lazy person. I've worked all my life. Actually, I've been working since I was 13 years old. And I mentioned yesterday the relationship that I had with Jessica. Jessica stayed home while I worked. I paid for her orchiectomy. I paid for everything. And Jessica didn't. All she did was take care of the house. And I took care of everything. Okay. So it wasn't, the way she is painting me is very unfair. I know she's hurt. I know she's angry. We both are. And one of the things, that's one of the reasons our relationship is not working and has never worked, because she gets pissed off, her Asperger kicks in, and she becomes, you know, it's just the way that she reacts. And I do the same thing. So it was like World War II all the time, because that's what we do. But I apologize. Lena, I apologize. It. Oh, this thing. I apologize for calling you an it, and I apologize for saying connection is going in and out. Um, I apologize for all the things that I said that sounded mean. I apologize to anyone out there that took offense to what I said to Linda, and I apologize to all trans women that I put all in the same boat. I was upset, okay? And add insult to injury, I'm at my work, trying to learn new things, working really hard in a field that occupational therapist. My hands were made for healing. I'm doing things, cutting boxes, a lot of hard labor that I'm not used to. So, yeah, I get home and I was frustrated. And all day yesterday with reading the article that she was writing and during my breaks and lunch break, it was very upsetting. So I apologize for the way that I behaved yesterday. It was uncalled for, and it's not something, the way that I said it, it was not right for me to say something like that to a person that I've loved very much for the past 3.5 years. I know that I said I didn't love her and that hurt her, but when somebody tells you I've already gone out with somebody and I had some D-I-C-K, you know, what am I supposed to feel? You know, I mean, remotely, the last thing in my mind is going out with anybody right now. You know, I'm just trying to get my life together because as much as she says that I've ruined her life, that I made or whatever, she also disrupted my entire life as well. We both disrupted each other's life, in all fairness. But, you know, it wasn't all bad. We had some great times. We had some great memories. We made a lot of memories. And I believe that a lot of the hurt, her hurt, my hurt, is what's leading to all this wanting to hurt one another. You know, and there's just a lot of bad blood. And then there's a lot of bad blood because of the relationship I had prior to her, which probably tainted a lot of my relationship with Lena because all I kept doing was comparing and thinking like, God, you're the same and whatever. And that's wrong for me to do. And I should have never done that. But, you know, I did. You know, I'm human and, you know, I make mistakes. I've got, you know, a lot of trauma myself, like all trans people, and the majority of us, we have had trauma, either coming from a dysfunctional home, you know, mistreated, whatever it is, you know. But what we should have never done, and you know, Lena talks a little bit too much. She gets on that, I mean, 4 hours ranting away and talking about me and talking about our business. I mean, that's really nobody's business. You know, I came on here and said, hey guys, we're breaking up because people knew us as a couple for a long time. But, you know, I didn't start airing anything. She even said that I talked about her disability. All I said was what she called controlling was my way of protecting her. I didn't want her to rollerblade because the doctor said she was a whiplash away from becoming a quadriplegic. So that was always stuck in the back of my mind. And I didn't want her to fall. I didn't want her to get hurt. What she saw as somebody that's demanding and controlling and whatever else, it's just somebody that really, really tried to take care of her. I've never had any children, so then it was my child in my eyes. And not to say that she's childlike, and I know I've said that. I should have worded that very differently. I should have said, Lena does things differently from me, okay? And I wanted things done my way because I thought my way would be more effective. And for that, I apologize. I apologize for all the things that I made you feel during the 3.5 years that we were together. But you and I both know that it was not all bad. We had some great times. We may be two different people, and that might have been the major problem because I'm a homebody. I'm different than you are, and so not judging your way. I'm not saying that my way is better. It's just we're different. Two different people that try to make it work that due to the circumstances, due to whatever. But I'm calmer today after, you know, thinking it through and, you know, things are settling and I'm not as stressed out at work and whatever because things are, you know, I'm getting things a little bit easier and better. And, you know, so I'm able to calmly speak about things now. But yes, I'll repeat it again for those who didn't hear and those that are joining. And this is a public apology for Lena. I should have never called you an it, no matter how upset I was, no matter what triggered that. And, you know, we've gone back and forth, the things that you've said, the things that I've said. But what really targeted me was when you said you went out with a Marine and had some DICK. That's what, I mean, I'm human, you know, and so I should have never called you an it or said that I never loved you. You know, that's a lie. You, out of all people, know. You see my love for you. My eyes during our wedding video said it all. But, you know, just the circumstances, a lot of circumstances, a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges. And it just, you know, we both felt like we were in the wrong place, the wrong time. Like you mentioned about if we wouldn't have had gender issues and we would have met as the gender we were born as, we would have made a very happy couple. I would have been a very good wife to you, and you probably would have been one of the greatest husbands. But things didn't work out that way. This is our world. It is what it is. So I do hope that you take my apology. I do hope that people out there that I offended by saying what I said take my apology, as well as trans women. You know, I apologize for what I've said. And I just know that, you know, and Linda has mentioned this, that trans men and trans women really don't bring out the best of each other, because maybe it reminds too much of the original gender that we were born as. And, you know, I know that there were things in you that brought my female side out, and I'm sure there were things in me that brought the male side out in you, and we struggle with that. And, you know, hence all the detransing back and forth and all the craziness, and all the infighting that we did with the trans community was our own internal fighting. You know, I'm not a bad person. I know everybody thinks I'm a dick, a monster, and this, that, and the other. I'm not. You know, bad people don't help people out. You know, paid for Jessica's orchiectomy. You know, I think I did a good job taking care of Linda. And although now she feels she's getting too skinny and whatever else, you know, she's been running a lot and, you know, just eating carrots. I mean, because when I used to cook, she wasn't as skinny. She was weighing 150 something pounds. And so, but, you know, no judgment. She wants to go back to not being vegan. She wants to put on weight. That's fine. You know, I'm sorry that you felt that I stunted your transition. I was always just concerned as a medical professional. I know how damaging hormones can be. I know that me taking testosterone is putting myself in some sort of danger. But, you know, because I have no ovaries, not taking any hormones can also put me in danger. So I'm caught between a rock and a hard place. And so I have no choice but to, because I've depleted my reserves. And, you know, I need it in order to have my strength, my stamina, you know, have my heart working right and all that stuff. So, you know, I don't know what else to say, but what I've already said, and I apologize. And, you know, Lena, I do, and I've always loved you, and I still do. You know, it's just, I got hurt. I got hurt, and we both have that. That's a massive fault that we both have. You feel hurt, we're going to go in for the juggler. You feel hurt, you're going to go in for my juggler. That's what we've done all along. The difference is that we made up all the time because the love that we felt was bigger than our differences. But now that we're apart, you know, it's hard to make up. I don't want to continue this battle. I don't want to continue bringing out dirty laundry, talking bad things. You know, I want to remember the good times. You know, I want to remember the nights we held each other, the kisses, the lips that were so made for each other. I want to remember your head was on my chest and I held you as we watched TV. I want to remember the good stuff, not just the bad. This has been just as hard on me as it has been on you, except that I hide it. I hide it and I try to be a hard ass. I try to pretend that I'm some big old burly macho whatever, because that's what the world expects for me to do, in the role that I've taken. You talk about me being uber alpha. You know, when you see your mother getting beaten up, being thrown from a stair from your alcoholic father, you learn to really have a disdain from men, really hate men, you know, that kind of thing. And hence why, you know, I became a lesbian and I didn't want any part of men. And I believe that I developed this alpha personality to protect myself from men. So I know that transgender women are not men. They don't feel, they don't present as such. But my, whatever you want to call it, sometimes just sees that I need to protect myself in a certain way. And I know that I don't, but one can't control the PTSD that one has, from life in general. So the only person that I ever trusted was Lena, because I told her, she's the only person that's ever seen, the inner me, the soft, and although Maritza didn't take any shit from anyone because I learned to protect myself, but Lena's been the only person that I've allowed to see through this whole facade. So yeah, I'm hurt, and I know she's hurt too. We're both hurt. That's what happens when people break up. There's hurt. There's stages of grief, denial, anger. We go between the denial and anger stage, and then there's bargaining, and then there's depression, and there's acceptance, and there's no particular order because you can go back and forth. So it's normal, people. I know that everyone is enjoying the show per se, which I think it's not something that should have ever been aired out there. And I hope that we can finally stop this, and move on with our lives, and not just focus on the bad, but focus on the good times. Learn from this. I think we both have a lot of learning from what took place. I'm not in any hurry to rush into any relationships. I mean, it's I have no desire, zero desire. Not for a while. I just want to work. I just want to heal, work on my spirit, my body, my mind, and make amends. I apologize to the trans community for everything that transpired during the 3.5 years that I was with Lena. We said a lot of awful things. Okay, this is it right there or something. A lot of awful things. And we were both to blame. I'm not going to blame her solely. We were both to blame. It was like, again, the trans community began to attack because of that video that Lena wanted to make regarding the blockers, and then the defensive nature that both Lena and I have kicked in, and we started attacking the trans community because we felt attacked. So, but if you look at my history, I was an advocate for many years. When I lived with my ex-wife, Violet, we both advocated greatly for this community. And, there's no excuse why we did what we did. All I could do is apologize, and go forward. That's about all I can do. Once again, I'm not perfect. I know Linda and everybody else thinks that you all think that I am, but it's a self-defense mechanism from growing up being told that everything I did was wrong. So it's almost like, repeating what I was told from a very young age. Nothing that I ever did was right. I always had to prove myself and gain, approval. And it just seemed like it never happened. And I don't want to put blame on my parents because they did the best they could. All parents do the best they can. We all have some form of PTSD. We all have some form of issues and why we behave the way that we do. But to label people monsters or bad, it's not right, because that's just continuing the same thing, We're doing it to each other. Hi, Leslie, how are you? So it's, it's sad that relationships, when they end, they have to get so vile and so ugly. It shouldn't have to. I mean, I never understood that. The only relationship that didn't happen that way for me was with my ex-wife, Violet. We remained friends, and we're still friends to this day. We ended amicably. There was no mud throwing. There was nothing. But, each person is different. And I think that's one of the reasons I say that, not to put anyone down, because like I said, I apologize to the trans community already. I apologize to Lena, but I'm used to having relationships with cis women as a lesbian that I was for years. So it's difficult. It's different for me. Not judging it, not putting it down. It's just different. And maybe those were the choice of words that I would have used yesterday, but I was upset. You know, um, no one wants to hear, oh, I've already gone out on a date and I had some DICK. You know, no one wants to hear that. You're gonna do that? Don't tell me. And I would hope that you wouldn't do that. I mean, then you denied it and said you just said that to get a rise out of me. Well, you got the rise out of me. And that's wrong, because then you're like fishing for me to say things so then you could turn around and tell people, oh, look, he's this way and that way. You know, you spent all day writing stuff on the walls, writing stuff on the other video that I make, and you just go on and on and on and on and on about it, you know, in 4 hours video talking about me. I mean, it's, geez, my hands are all cut up from all the boxes. But anyway, I digress. Hey, Longstar Naturalist, how you doing? I have not much more to say, but what I've said, and my apologies are sincere. You know, we all get hurt, and some of us react differently. You know, it's self-defense. It's a defense mechanism. You guys ever tried probiotic drink? Kavita is like a kombucha. Good stuff. Lemon ginger. It's great for the probiotic in your stomach. Yes, it's defense mechanism. Yeah, and it's, you know, it's sad. It's sad that people have to see two people that loved each other so much, you know, go at it. It's like a soap opera on television, and it shouldn't have ever been that way. You know, the breakup, you know, had various reasons. You know, we both knew that her kids would not accept me in their lives, so, you know, I wanted to step down so she could do that. You know, it's sad. It really is sad that we never stood a fighting chance. But there was plenty of love there, all through and through, and that's what kept us together. Was the love. We're very different. We're both very explosive, as you all can see. Oh, you got mango? Yeah, they do. They make all sorts of different flavors of these probiotic. I love kombucha. I've stopped drinking alcohol for a while now because it decreases your testosterone level, and so I just drink kombucha every now and then. It's nice and it's sparkling, and it's really good for your stomach. This is true love. You stepped out of her life so she could see her kids. Yeah, and I've told her, and she'll tell you that I've said it time and time again. I'll step down. I'll do anything for you to be happy and reunite yourself with your family. You know. And I always felt in the back of my mind that one day this will come to an end once she healed. You know, and people have to understand. I mean, all you that are trying to call me lazy and whatever, it's like we were together 24/7. Traveling, going up and down from Silver City to Fort Lauderdale. And then we just, you know, got into the regimen. I would do the rehab, train her, you know, cook for her, whatever. It's like, she didn't want me to be away from her. Time and time again, I could have gone a job, yes, but she didn't want that. She wanted to be with me, and I wanted to be with her. I've been working since I was 13 years old. I'm not a lazy person by all means. Like, right now, this work, I'm loving it. Even though it's not the kind of work that I'm used to. It's pretty hard labor, but it feels good because I'm a worker. I always have been, you know. Before we broke up, I mean, I even told her, hey, look, we could live together as friends. I'll work, and, you know, it's two monies coming in, and we could hang out and whatever. But, you know, things got a bit ugly at the end there, and she didn't want to stay. And she just reacted, because that's one thing, and not putting her down, but she gets reactive at times, and just decided she wanted to go to Minneapolis, wherever she's at. But, you know, I would never kick her out. I never, on the contrary, I told her we could either get a 2-bedroom apartment. That way we help each other out, because 2 paychecks are better than one. Yes, it is very stressful, low star. Yeah. Leslie says, Mark, you're a special man. I hope you both find peace and remain friends eventually. I do. I want to be her friend. I want to be her friend. Before she read that stupid article that I wrote last week, we were like really conversing and whatever. And then she read it and then got pissed off. And then she went at it. And it's like, oh my God, the article was written last week. You should have read it last week when we were both pissed off at each other. But instead she read it yesterday, a few days ago, and it's like, oh, here we go again. And then she goes digging into old videos, all this stuff that we both have done. Last week we were at that anger stage, and I was thinking, okay, we're finally moving on. And boom, excuse me, I just burped. That's one thing with this bubbly stuff, it makes you burpy. But you wrote that when you all were really hurt and pissed off at the time. Yeah, that's exactly, it's like stages of grief. And you know that, Leslie, you're a psychologist, and that's what happens. People get hurt, they say mean things, they want to hurt each other. She says a lot of stuff, and I know she doesn't mean half the stuff that she says, half the stuff that, and then people egg her on because, misery loves company. People out there that, that hate my guts or whatever because of what we said when we were on our rampage. It's human nature. We're a little strange set of species here, but it is what it is. What can you do? I can't take back what I said. I could only apologize. And I hope that she accepts my apology, and I hope that she knows that I don't mean her any ill. I never have. We were like 2 peas in a pod all the time, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I mean, people knew us as the Walkers because we used to walk. Instead of the Cummings, we should have called ourselves the Walker. We used to walk everywhere. We were together all the time, whether it was in Fort Lauderdale, whether it was here, and it's not a matter of money. It's like I never buy myself anything. I don't need anything. I'm a very simple person. We lost a lot of money when we had to turn in the lease early so we could go on the journey. We've lost money on airplane tickets when it was supposed to, and we lost that money. I mean, it's just constant stuff, phone plans. I mean, it's just, back and forth and different things. And hey, but I'm not the monster that she is trying to make you all believe that I am, and I understand why she's doing it. At the moment I get pissed off, it's like, how can she do this? Why would she do this, But I understand she's hurt. It's like I was hurt when she mentioned the Marine to then tell me, oh, I was lying, because I wanted to piss you off. And you don't tell your husband that you just went out on a date and had some, I mean, that's, yeah, I went out with a girl and had some, no, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you. And then, yeah, I called you a nit, and I was because I was upset, but you like really, it's stupid. It's really stupid. That's all I have to say. It's tit for tat, and we shouldn't be doing that. We should take care of our own business and not air it for the whole world to hear or see, But anyway, I want to run a bath. I'm tired. I've worked. I'm good. I'm feeling pretty good. If it wasn't for all this, circuits that we've been creating, I mean, I love working. You know, I love um, the fact that, you know, I'm trying to get my life back in gear, you know, and it was a great 3.5 years with her, but now it's another chapter and we both, you know, have to move on. She's got to move on. I've got to move on. I wish her well. You know, I wish her the greatest, best thing ever, you know, that she could find true love, you know, or somebody that I know that she loves me, so that's not the word, true love, but somebody that could understand her more, you know, because I, I've obviously messed up, you know, I couldn't understand, you know, I didn't have the patience. That's the perfectionist in me. So for that, I apologize. Oh yeah, the coworkers are really nice. We all get along really well. It's cool. Nice group of people. Um, yeah. So I'm tired. That's why I'm kind of like, you know, I didn't sleep well last night, and it's I'm up early in the morning, and so. And if you're watching, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. I'm sorry for devaluing you, for saying that I didn't see you. I did see you, and you know I did. I just, I was upset. Like you get upset and you say things and you throw the F bomb and you call me a dick and asshole and you say all those things. I've never done that before, and you know it. I always stayed quiet. When you F bombed me, when you said whatever, I would never, ever. But, you know, I hit my limit, and that's what happens when I hit my limit. But I had a pretty long limit, you know. You all were a really cute couple. I wish you all would have done a separation for a while before the big divorce. But you all both know what is best. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping that maybe the distance apart would make things, you know, change. But, you know, she appears, you know, it's like, that's one of the things that got really upset. It's like, she made it out to be like it was so miserable. That's why I said yesterday, my God, really? You know? And, you know, it's like, yeah, so it was that bad. And I know that she didn't mean half the things, but, you know, it hurt me. Like stuff that I said to hurt her, because I was trying to hurt her just as much as it hurt me to hear all this stuff that she's talking about. It's like what we had was crap. You know, it was like, so you mean all these years that we were together, that whatever, it's like it meant nothing, you know, and that was hurtful. I know I've hurt you, but you've hurt me too in many ways, you know. And we just need to stop. We really do. My lips are so chapped. We need to just, you know, call a truce, you know, call a truce. And, you know, what else to say? Mark, the other night she was singing songs and was very sentimental and was missing you. I watched her live session and she was missing you bad. I miss her too. The other day we were talking, you know, about one of the reasons I can't sleep at night is because I miss her body. Even though we didn't cuddle all the time, you know, we cuddle when we start sleeping, and then we kind of like, I would turn one way and she'd turn the other, but our butts would touch, our legs would touch, you know, I know she was there. And I've had a hard time sleeping, you know, maybe getting 4 hours a night, you know, but it's like, what can you do? What can you do? It's like, it's tough. Sometimes you say things when you're hurt. I know both of you are hurting. Like you said, it's human nature. Les, you're right. I felt that too. Yeah, I know. You know, there's plenty of love. That's not one ounce of the problem is not the love, because there's plenty of love. It's just we both have this, God, this freaking character of like, oh, you're gonna hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you back, and that's always been, you know, the arguments and the. It's like this, and it sucks because I don't think I've ever known any greater love than the love Lena and I have. You know, but this gender dysphoria, this, and if I ever, told her don't do this, don't do that, it's because I didn't want her to keep feeling that dysphoria. I didn't want her to have to worry about this, that, and the other. I just wanted her, like I wrote at the end of my blog, what I would have given to see her soul, because she never really gave me her true self. She was always so concerned, and I understand it's part of the dysphoria. I understand it's part of what trans people go through. But, you know, in the end, what are we looking for when we do everything we do is love? And I thought we already have that. Why, I mean, it's like, let's just love one another and forget about all this logistic male, female wigs and whatever. I mean, today she made a video or took a 4-hour video, whatever. She was talking about all the different wigs. It was never a good enough wig. It's like, baby, that one looks just fine, and it's like always trying to find perfection for the look. And it's like, it's not about looks, people. It's about what's inside. And that's why I was just encouraging her to do whatever, because I didn't want her to obsess. She took it as something bad, but it's like, baby, you're fine the way you are. You could walk around with a robe for all I care. I mean, ugh, did I come offline? This stupid connection. I'm looking at your heart, That's all that I cared about. I didn't care about all the makeup and the wigs, and not because I wanted anything else. I just wanted the person, whatever gender that person, it's just the person, the spirit, the person that would sit up and watch TV, and we watch all these like spiritual documentaries, and we're always trying to learn things and grow, and oh no, this is the truth. Yeah, we found the truth, and constantly, because we were very inquisitive that way, But it is what it is, folks. So, none more to say. I've come clean. And I'm not the type of person that expresses their feelings very easily. I learned to hide them because of my situation in life. But this is it. This is me. And once again, I apologize to all involved, trans community, my wife, Lynn, because we're still married. And to all of you who took offense for my words that were very harsh yesterday, very harsh words. And for that, I apologize. Leslie said, honestly, she may have a hard time finding a man with a true heart like yours. I think so. I don't think she'll ever find somebody to love her as much as I loved her, to dedicate myself as much as I did, to fuss over her, because I fussed over her like she was my baby. It was like, would give her the little drops of kelp, and if I'm cooking, I would have her taste it and bring it to her, and things that I did that I'm sure no one's ever done for her, because I felt it in my heart. You're very welcome, Rose, from my heart. Thank you for making this apology public. And I mean it, It's like we're both hurt and we're both saying things that are awful. But, she was my baby. Fussed over her like I've never fussed over anybody. And I think one of the reasons she mentioned my mom doesn't like her is like, my mom has never seen me fall in love like this. My mom's never seen me fuss over anybody. I'm not even close to my family the way, to me, it's like my everything was Lena. My everything was her. But, it is what it is. There's a reason, and I don't know the reason. I don't know why the universe decided that it was time to say goodbye, but that's what it was. And we just, whatever, move on, and God knows what the future holds. And I hope that she could forgive me and it's not upset of me, because I do want to be her friend. I never not want to be her friend. But, please don't go tell me that you're going out with a Marine. We haven't even been split up for 2 weeks. And that just, that wasn't right, babe. That wasn't right. That was like a low blow. But let's end the fights. Is it too late to tell her that, Mark? To tell her what, Leslie? I've said a lot. Is it too late to tell her that I'm sorry? Or is it... I'm not understanding the question. That you still love her so much. Oh, of course it's not late. She knows I love her. In her hearts of hearts, she knows I do. She knows that. But, Linda's the type of person that words mean a lot to her, and it edges in, and that's why I said it, because I was trying to hurt her, because she hurt me. And it's not justified. God, my hands are like a mess. It's not justified whatsoever, but, I do love her very much, Star. I always will. She's the first person that broke through my heart, And what can I do? I hope that she reconciliates with her kids, that they finally see her and accept her and love her, because that's been the crux of it all. That's been a lot of the stress in our relationship, because she can't find happiness until she has her kids in her life, because she's missing a part of her. Those are her kids, her babies. So I hope to God that, that happens, that they accept her and love her. And like I told her, maybe 10 years down the road when the kids grow up and everything's great and dandy, then we could revisit and see what. That's a stupid thing. I hope sometime apart will make you both see you really love each other and need each other. Distance does make the heart grow fonder. That's what they say. That's what they say. Let's see. I never say never. And I just, I think she needs to find herself. I mean, I had 15 plus years, like she's mentioned in the video. I have no, because people see a man. And I think that the accident kind of stifled her transition, and then I'm sure I didn't help. So maybe when she, really gets to, what's the word I'm looking for, find herself completely and be able to feel herself and be able to have her kids back into her life and stuff like that, maybe, there'll be room for us again. That's very possible. So, all right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and run a bath. Achy feet and achy back. Lifting boxes and cutting boxes and stocking and doing all sorts of stuff. I'm actually going to be working in the deli. I didn't want anybody to really know my business, my life. I mean, I'm an occupational therapist, and I've had to take a massive step down. But, I let my license go, and I really don't want to go back into the healthcare. But, job, they needed people to stock over the weekend because they're having graduation. So the new orientation group got pulled into work Friday, Saturday. I mean, it started Thursday in orientation, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We had to do all sorts of stuff at Walmart, from, stocking stuff. They're tearing it down because they're rebuilding, they're changing Walmart around. So it's just a lot of, hard work, and that's fine. I mean, I'm not afraid of hard work. Before I became a therapist, I had my own painting company. So I would paint and do hard labor stuff, construction and stuff like that. But it's been a while because, first as a therapist, I just use these hands to heal. These hands have been going through the mill at Walmart, but it's money, and I get to pay my bills. And yeah, it's okay, Mark. Don't be ashamed. You will be a manager soon, making more money in a leadership position. And I know I could grow with Walmart. They also have like IT positions. They pay for your school, and they actually have schooling, different things there in Walmart. It's a big company, so you could grow with the company. I don't know if I want to be a manager. Seeing what the managers are going through, I don't know if I want that. But there's other positions there that, like IT. They need like an IT person, and there's just different. They even have a radio, and I love to do the DJ broadcast thing. So I'll see. But right now, the deli. I love to cook and I love to deal with food and stuff. So you know, and I'm a very outgoing person, and I like that about that job. You get to talk to people all day long and help people, little old ladies that can't reach, and stuff like that. So I enjoy it. I really do. So that's it, folks. Thank you so much. And please, please accept my apology. All of you, trans women, trans men, and you, my beautiful wife, Lena. I'm very sorry, honey. Asperger sucks. We know that. We've dealt with it. But you're not a man. You're my wife. Not for long. We'll do whatever we gotta do, but you are. Still are. Legally right now. So I'm sorry. Just want you to empower yourself. Or you felt that I was stopping that I didn't help you in any way with that. So please, please go build yourself back up. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I'm off tomorrow and Tuesday. So I didn't get to go to the gym Saturday and Sunday because my gym opens up at 8 in the morning on Saturday and Sunday. And I had to go in and work at 7. So tomorrow I'll be hitting the gym, doing laundry. What else did I do tomorrow? Gym, laundry, a few errands and stuff. So love you guys. But remember to always love yourselves too. I love you, Leslie. Thank you, Lokestar. Yes, let's hope everyone has a great and wonderful evening. Good night.